some kind of people somewhere confused what is happening. Those who have not got any internship, and also those who have got I got a mail, how to get a project, what project you are doing. So all those kind of questions, I thought why not to start, or why not to call this weekly meeting. So how we are going to do about it? Firstly, I'll take some of the points, some of the questions that were asked throughout this week to me, and I just want to, in general, let all of you know, how we are going to go about it. By the way, why don't I see anybody on video? Please switch on your videos. It's hard enough to talk on a Saturday, and that too to blank screen. Please switch on the videos. So I can't see anyone. So out of 330, I think only 153 are interested in SIP, and out of that, I think seven have switched on the video. So these are some of the numbers about your batch and how serious they are with regard to your SIP, right? This is what I'll take from this meeting then. Okay, so there are two groups. One who have already been selected and are going to work, or already have started working on their company. So that's the first group. There's the second group and the smaller group, preferably, who are still in the process. So you don't have to worry because we have extended the time, right? So initially the time was from 1st of May to last of June. But considering the current situation, we have extended the time. So we are hoping somewhere towards the end of next week, this process will continue. So those who have not been placed, they should not, feel discouraged or any kind of give up. The process is still continuing and on a very much accelerated level. So make sure that you are always able to give your best and doing your best into getting those SIPs, right? So don't give up on that form. So that's the first thing that I have got to tell you. Some of you were also thinking about and asking, sir, we want to do here and there. And it's a very strange thing that once you have been selected to a company, SIP, where you have not been forced, right? It is all voluntary. We ask voluntary to give. Once then also you are asking to change your SIP. Now understand that is very problematic for us. On two counts, mainly because we will lose face with the company, and second, we are not sure of the kind of project you are going to do on your own. And I have had 3-4 cases where students, they knowingly hide the information that they have already been selected somewhere else, and yet they are just asked for a NOC or bona fide student certificate. So that is totally unacceptable. I have already given this in mail to all of you, right? In writing, it's already available. So make sure you follow those rules. If you have been selected, make all your efforts, try to do those SIPs, right? If for some reason which is unavoidable, so which I don't want to, but if for some reason which is unavoidable, then only you should contact us, right? Otherwise, we don't want to, it feels very unprofessional on our part to inform companies that some of our students have regretted or are not going to join your SIP. That's not an ideal situation. So please remember that. I don't want to get such requests. Third, there is something related to some of you might have to do faculty-led industrial projects, FLIP. We have already had a session with you. And we have also discussed what is the process flow going to be. That will be something, the projects that will be soon floated, and your choices will be taken with respect to what kind of projects you are doing, and then it will be allocated based on the interest, availability of professors, and first come first serve basis, something like that, right? So we are working on that. Meanwhile, all of you who are not placed, make sure that you give your best effort to get selected in the company. However, I also want to emphasize, do not ever think that those who are going to do faculty led projects for their internships are somewhere, it is inferior in any way. We have seen students who have done excellent work in FLP and got placed very early because they were sincere, they have done all the that was expected and have got good deliverables and results. And also we have seen some students who go on to do their SIP with the company, but because of that their you know attitude, which is not very professional, they have not done a good work. So don't bring that differentiation in your mind. I'm also seeing some of you, feel that, one thing is good or another thing is good. No, it's not like that. All the SIPs that, all the forums or all the opportunity that you are getting from us, all of them are good, right? And for the faculty-led projects, which you will do your SIP for the students, you will also get your certificates, right? So there not be any problem with respect to that also. And if you do well, if you really do well, then you can also get early placements. It only depends on how sincere you are and how good your deliverables are, right? So the process mainly we have discussed already. So the projects will be there, floated by the faculties, and then you will get attached to those particular faculties based on your interest and their specialization. And then then one or two projects with minimum one or two students, or at least three students. These students will be doing projects with these faculties. These faculties will be your corporate mentor and faculty mentor. So both the roles will be overseen by this faculty only, and there will be certain sections and certain milestones that you have to do. There will be certain learning outcomes that you always have to keep in mind, which means these learning outcomes will be something that you can advertise to potential employers, right? So make sure that you do that. Okay. That is what I wanted to tell. That the process is still extended. The SIP process has not stopped. It's still in the very much on the way. And make sure that at least till the end of next week you are giving your best to get selected into the company. Okay. Okay. Now let us address those who have already started their SIP, or those who have started their SIP. It's good time to contact the HR, and good time to get in touch with your corporate mentors. Initially, these 10-15 initial days are best suited for industry knowledge, for company knowledge, and for your JD knowledge. Also, make sure that initially in this first fortnight only, you freeze your deliverables and expectations. So, what we call as expectation setting should not be left till the very end. Make sure you do that, right? You sit with your HR, you sit with your corporate mentors and ask them what is it that exactly I need to be ready at the end of these 2 months. Only that will lead to a fruitful and a productive SIP. Okay. Otherwise, you will be just groping in the dark and it won't lead to any results. So I just wanted to say this. You must have got HR contact or any kind of contacts after getting selected into those companies. If you have not got, so almost 1 week is over. If you are not getting any person to contact you and start on your SIP, then please raise the flag. Okay, so tell Amit, right, that you have been selected in such and such company, and nobody has contacted you, or you have no idea what is happening, right? So if that happens, then we'll get in touch with the companies. But if 1 or 2, 3 days delays is there, or if your corporate mentor is very busy, or something like that is happening, then that is okay, because that is part and parcel of your corporate life, and people are also busy with works which is other than the SIPs. So in that case, just a minute, I'm getting a call. Okay, so I was just telling you, those of you who have not contacted or got in touch with anyone, please raise that issue. If you have, however, been contacted, then get in touch and start with what we call the expectation settings, right? So these are the important things I wanted to convey, because I was getting a question from one of the students who was not even sure that from where will we get the project. So the project has to be given by the company. It has to be given by your corporate mentor. So that project will be, that is what we are going to evaluate at the end of 2 months. Okay. Okay. So we will take some questions. Ashok sir is here, sir. If you want to say anything.
Before questions, I have a few points for the students. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Those of you who have been assigned with SIP, how many of you have got projects already? Please raise your hands. Okay, you can lower your hands. Please lower your hands. How many of you have still to get a project? That means you have not been assigned any project. Okay, please lower your hands. Those of you who have already got projects, the first thing first is to identify the reading to be done. Book chapters, research articles, case studies about the industry, about the company. Is it clear? So in the next 1-2 days, you should have your list ready. These are the book chapters I'm going to read. These are the research articles I'm going to read. These are the information I'm going to collect about the industry. These are the information I'm going to collect about the companies. Okay? This is high time you register for CMI Probase. In the CMI Probase, the industry data, you will get all information about companies. It lists more than 10,000 companies. Okay. If you have any difficulty in enrolling in CMI Probase, immediately shoot out a letter to the librarian. She will help you to install that. If you have still not installed the remote access to library, that is, if you still do not have remote access to library, please contact the librarian. She will give you access to the library resources, that is remote access to library. So this is for the students who have already got a project. For the other group who have still not got a project, like Bhuvan sir said, maybe you will wait for a couple of days, try to connect with the contact person you have been assigned to, and try to find out the nature of the project. Don't expect a very complete kind of a thing. Summer internship is a forum, is an initiative where you are expected to do a complete work within incomplete environment. Okay, don't expect food to be served just like your mother serves you food. You have to search for things. Okay, so try to connect the best way you can with the contact person from the company and try to get clarity on the project. Okay, these are the few things I wanted to tell the two groups separately. And the third group, as Bhuvan sir said, actions are on to enroll you in a respectable project, either company-led or the faculty-led industry project. Okay? Yes, Bhuvan, over to you.
Thank you, sir. Surya sir is also here, so welcome, Surya sir. I just wanted to let all students know that if you have any doubt, regarding any kind or any aspect of your SIP, now is the time to ask. You can raise your hand. Also, specifically for FLP, faculty-led projects, any and all of your doubts, please ask here. So we want a common platform so that your doubts are cleared now itself rather than me getting calls and messages. So don't feel shy. If you have any doubt, any kind, please ask. We all are here to clear your doubts. Yes. Before we start, Suresh sir, would you like to add anything about FLP, FLIP, something?
Okay, I'll just quickly, cover my point. Sorry, I joined in late. I mistook the starting time of the meeting to be 4:30. So sorry about that. So Abhishek and Sai, just give me a couple of moments. I'll just quickly cover what I thought I wanted to talk about. First is for all those people who have not yet gotten any internship. Please don't worry. The college will fully support you to get an FLIP or corporate SIP. Either ways, they are equivalent. Do not think that one is better than the other. You will be surprised at the end of the internship period to find out that people from various different backgrounds with various different kind of internships have done extremely well in each one of those, or equally bad at each one of those. So it's not really a differentiator in terms of whether you're doing an FLIP or a corporate SIP. Second point I wanted to quickly address was that a lot of you are having apprehensions that what will be written on my certificate, what will it look like, and things like that. Please do not worry about that. All of that will be taken care of at our end. Your certificate will be valid. That is our lookout. Okay. Unless you are going for a self-arranged internship, in which case the college is not concerned at all. You will have to look after where with all of that. Third thing, people who have already gotten into an internship and facing XYZ issues, please feel free to reach out to us. At the same time, do not panic from regulation work. What I mean by regulation work, sir, target mil gaya. I got a couple of calls in the last couple of days, not a couple of calls, 4-5 calls with people saying target de diya gaya hai. Of course, target de diya jayega. What do you mean target de diya gaya hai? That's your job. An internship is like a mini job. So if you were in employment, you would have had targets. And you have targets in internship, that's only natural. There can be unnatural targets, there can be unethical practices, which is where we will come in. So if the company asks you to do something like sell to your family and friends, anyhow get this much amount of revenue done, we don't care. If things like that happen, then come in touch with us. So do not just panic right at the first moment. Take your time, try to understand the task, find out from your professors what's a good way to go about doing things. For example, a target of 10 to 15,000 for some kind of a digital service might look like a big deal to start with. But if you find out a few things from your professors and find out how you could probably service that target, you will have some ways of doing it. Some of you will do better than others. That's only how the world works. But at least try to learn about the process. If you're not able to execute it to the fullest extent possible, that's okay. But try. Do not fail without trying. Okay. If any unethical practices happen, if any real problems happen, I give you, on behalf of the entire college, my leadership, the guarantee that the college is with you. Do not worry about that. Okay, the college is definitely with you. You are our students. We will look after you. Do not worry about that at all. Okay. Format about how to do your pre-work before the internship. Please adhere to those things and please turn out output which is as per expectation, as per formats. You will face issues in terms of marks and credits if you do not follow that, if you do not adhere to that. Those are all the points I had to cover. Let us quickly go to Abhishek.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, I won't be able to switch on the camera at the office. So,
please go on, give your query.
Bhuvan sir said to contact the mentor. Actually, the mentor, the corporate mentor, which were assigned to us by the college, or the mentors which were assigned to us by the company itself.
So you must have had your company mentor, right, or HR. So that
Yes,
person
sir.
will tell you the kind of project you are going to do. If you face problems doing that, be it theoretical, or if you need sounding board, then you can contact your faculty mentor. So that is what I meant.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sai?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Sir, I would like to ask that the FLIP program, does it have a certificate to it? And sir, second question is, it would be means easy and helpful for us if we get like a list of companies that are having their processes going on right now and which companies have ended already, so that we have not no means आशा लगा के नहीं बैठेंगे मतलब ये कंपनी में डाला हुआ है अभी तक आया नहीं like that, sir.
Okay, let me take that. First is FLIP or corporate SIPs are going to be absolutely equivalent, and you will have a certificate for each one. The certificates will talk about the company which we work for, or the industry segment on which you work for, and will certify your internship. Do not worry about that certification part. Second, on the number of companies which are ongoing, I think that should be straightforward because all the information is being sent to all the students. On which processes have gotten over, that's a little trickier because we are at various stages of processes, and sometimes the company conducts a process and does not come out with the results immediately and says we will conduct another round, but then they do not and say that ye last round ka result ke saath hi kar denge. Sometimes there have been a couple of cases in internships where processes have happened but results have not come out, and probably those results are not going to come out. So it's a little trickier than how you imagine things would be. Things are very, very dynamic. At the same time, if results are coming out, the standard operating procedure is that results go out to everybody in the batch. But if that is not happening, do let us know so that we can improve our process.
No, sir, results. We are getting the results. I'm saying like if a company is there, for example, Emphasis, is it still going on? Is it still in the process, or is it left? Means they are saying we will not choose anymore, something like that.
So if clarity is there, we'll share that with you. If clarity is not there, we cannot share that with you. So some processes I understand are hanging. That is the nature of processes. Corporates give priority to business before they hire interns. So we understand that and we have to live with that, you know. Especially towards the end of the month, a lot of processes happened or did not happen, postponed, hanging. A lot of that happened towards the end of the month because end of the month, the companies give a lot of focus on target achievement and business processing. A lot of those dynamics we are trying to manage, but yes, sometimes it becomes a little difficult for us to share information in a timely manner. So just bear with us in the meanwhile. I think next 7-8 days are the time that is left for completing all of these processes. Whatever will not be completed, we will abandon those processes. We'll send a regret to the companies, and we'll balance the rest of our students with FLIPs.
Sumitra, please ask your question.
Good evening, sir. Sir, my question is that I have got a 3-month internship from college only. So, what will be the procedure for me? When will I be delivering the presentation and all?
Which company, Soumitra?
Fino Control.
Fino Control. So we have not yet taken a call regarding Fino Control, whether it will be the presentation will be after 2 months or 3 months. So there are 2 models in which we are working with various companies, which have a non-standard internship period. One is where we end the internship, the formal SIP period with 2 months, and we conduct the presentation remotely, and we consider the internship closed for us, for the SIP process, for the 8 credits of evaluation. The rest 1 month you work with the company, but you do not count that towards your evaluation. Okay. The second model is you work with the company for the entire duration of the project and then complete your evaluation after that. So most probably we'll try to bring every company to the first model. Fino Control, I'm not sure whether we have had that conversation. To the best of my knowledge, we have not had that conversation with Fino Control. We'll have that.
Okay, sir. And sir,
Our companies. I'm so sorry.
I already had a talk with the HR. They told me that they will be giving me the topic in between after 1 month, and we have to submit the presentation after 90 days only. We will get the certificate. So, what in that case, how will I take the certificate?
That is okay. That is okay. We understand that. But your evaluation at the college will end before that.
Okay, sir.
So is the 2 month period is specific?
Hold on, Abhishek. I'll just take something that Anish was talking about. Anish?
Sir, actually, with with our also the company, we have 3 months of internship, sir. Same as Amrita. CareLand. CareLand, sir. CareLand, sir. CareLand. I'll type it down.
CareLand or CareLane?
So CareLane. So CAR.
CareLand. It's a CareLand.
CareLane was a company that we engaged with. CareLand,
Right, sir. The same company, sir. I'm talking about that company.
CareLane, right?
Yes, sir.
CareLane, again, I don't think we have had a conclusion to that conversation, no.
Sure, sir.
CareLane is who, Amit, Anu?
CareLane is, yes, sir. Devraj, sir.
Anu or Manish?
Manish is Fino Control. Manish is Fino
Fino
Control.
Control, I remember. CareLane is who? Anu or Manish?
Sir, CareLane is Devraj Mitra, sir.
Devraj, okay. Because with all of Anu's companies, we have had a discussion and we have closed that it will be evaluation before the completion of the internship. But we have not had that with Devraj or Manish. So you'll have that. So again, you'll have to wait for that.
Can I ask a question here to the students?
Please go on.
Yeah. Sir, actually the problem I am facing with the students is like some of the students have finalized their summer internship, but they have not submitted the confirmation to the internship at the rate of ksm.ac.in. And when we are giving their names to the various companies and I'm asking to attend the process, they are saying, sir, हमारा तो हो गया है इस company में हम लोगों का मैं SIP शुरू कर दिया हूँ. No, I do not have any information. So I will request, sir, if you can ask the students to submit, if they have confirmed SIP with them, self SIP, they should inform the college so that we can have the records.
नहीं records नहीं ये तो important है. If they do not do that, then you have to take some disciplinary action because you cannot allow students to get into a process and say, no, I am already done with process.
Yes.
So anybody here like that who has gotten through a self-arranged internship and has not informed the institute? Okay, let me go back to Abhishek then. Abhishek was saying something.
Yes, sir. I was asking that the 2 month model is it precise and specific because I have 10 weeks time period for that for the internship to get over.
No, it is not. As far as possible, we adhere to 2 months, but there are situations, there are contexts in which we have to extend or reduce the duration by a little bit. So 8 months is the minimum required, and the maximum that we are allowing this year is 3 months, not more than that. There are a couple of internships which are 6 months, but then they are happening in a different mode altogether. So 2 months will be over with the SIP part.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Adhik.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, I am doing a self-arranged internship in ITC. So I have been assigned a project. It's on a particular account, but the project objective is not sure yet. So what should I do, sir? Will the objective be? Is the decision it will be mine or it will be taken given to by someone?
Okay, very interesting question, and thank you for asking that, Avik. It's a self-arranged internship in ITC, if I understand correctly.
Yes, sir.
And have you been assigned a corporate guide, a corporate mentor, an advisor, supervisor, something in the company?
Yes, sir.
Are you in touch with that person?
Yes, sir. He has actually he's a ASM in modern trade. So
Okay.
he has given me the SIP. He has given me the project with a particular account. It's with Zepto.
Okay.
But he hasn't yet confirmed me the project objective. He just told me to find out, to tell him the findings of the project, sir.
That's okay. I think he is the best person to answer this question, and you must have a discussion with him regarding the specific objectives that he wants to drive through the project. Okay, he has given you a topic, so he is more probably focused on the outcomes than the objectives at this point of time. But it is your duty, your responsibility to have that discussion with him. None of us sitting here can imagine objectives for your project. Okay, and if somebody is doing that, they're probably doing a bad job out of it. So please do not ask anybody else apart from your corporate guide who's given you the topic to suggest you the objectives on that. Okay.
Okay, Surya, let me come in here. Surya, can I come in here?
Yes, sir, please.
To the question by Amit. The self-arranged SIPs, not only they should tell, they should send a copy of the communication from the organization. Otherwise, it is incomplete. The assignment is incomplete. Okay. Amit, so what I suggest, you send a communication to the group, again giving the list, updated list, and ask if any student beyond the list has got enrolled in any SIP through personal efforts. By end of the day tomorrow, he or she should submit you the proof thereof.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
To avoid any conflict of enrollment, because there are some companies which are already in the process. You may be sending a list of students. There should not be any conflict. Carry on.
Yes, I.
Sir, as Bhuvan sir said in the starting of the meeting that FLIP, it is on first come first serve basis. So sir, the students who are left over, so are they all going to be admitted in the FLIP or just those who are selected through interviews and various measurements of things, KPI kind of things?
So both. Initially, when the demand is larger, supply is smaller, it will be a selection process. At the end, when we do not have any supply at all, we will create new supply, and that will be equal to the demand, and everybody will be absorbed. So that will be more of an allocation basis rather than a selection basis. I hope you understood what I.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Yes, Anugraha.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, this is related to what Soumitra asked. So, sir, my internship period is also for 3 months under the company, the Hackett Group. So, will that be for 2 months and then the evaluation is for 2 months or like?
So as I told you, the effort at every company is to standardize evaluation at the end of 2.5 months. So by the mid of July, the evaluation presentations will be scheduled for almost all of you, possibly all of you. I'm not giving you a commitment on that because a couple of conversations with companies are still open. But including Hackett and Carelane or the other one, Fino Control, all of them included, we will try to have the evaluations within that period, within 2.5-3 months. Okay, by the end of July, we will try to get over with all evaluations from our end for all internships. People who are getting an extension will keep on working with the company, but that output will not be considered towards the evaluation.
Okay, let me make a point, Anugrah.
Yes.
For all those who have an internship which is more than 2 months, like some of you are having 3 months, do not worry about the end evaluation. Okay, that will be aligned with the nature of the project, nature of the internship. If the nature of the internship so demands that the evaluation will be at the end of the 3 months, it will be done after the end of 3 months. Because we have given you such an internship. So don't worry about that point at this point of time, but make sure to complete your continuous evaluations in time. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
That being said, make all possible endeavors to make sure that your SIPs are presentable at the end of 2 months, because sometimes what happens, we ask as soon as the college opens, we ask for your draft report. So we do understand and take into consideration that your SIPs are for 3 months. We understand that part, but we do ask for draft reports and make sure that we do not get such statements which we have in past, that sir, we have only done project review, sir, we have only not started data collection. So make sure that if you have a 3 months of SIP, at least you are able to give some good draft reports at the end of 2 months. That should not be extended. A good, sincere work in SIP will not go unnoticed. But please do not come at the end of 2 months for your SIP and say that we have nothing to show. That will make you cut a very sorry figure, right? And tentative evaluations will be done. As and when we have exceptions, you will be accommodated. But to the rest of batch, make sure that you are ready for your evaluations as soon as the college starts. So make sure that you have that in mind. Ajay, you have written something. Sir, we have to send weekly meetings in our SIP. I even don't get the origin of that question. किसको भेजना है तुमको weekly minutes?
The weekly minutes, like we have to send a report to our mentors that what we have done. It should be like the minutes we take in a meeting. That's how we like what we did in a day, what we did when we step in, what the task we have done, and which time we leave.
What your mentors want from you in SIPs, between you and your mentors. For the SIP evaluation point of view, we require you to give first progress report, second progress report, and third progress report. So those three things are only required, right? So in that progress report, what you have to include, that has already been also communicated to you. Now, if your mentor asks for a weekly report that is outside the realm of progress report, then you have to talk to your mentor. As of now, we do not have any view that whether you should send weekly minutes to your mentor or not. Make sure you send your first report, progress report, second progress report, and third progress report to your mentors. That is what we are concerned about. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Another question is from, I think, Aliva, right? So, Aliva, can you ask your question or should I read it?
Yes, sir. Sir, the same question that we have not yet received our offer letter, and will that be a problem because we have actually joined the company but not yet received the offer letter, and we have been assigned some work. Will that be counted as a project?
So, when you were selected, you must have got a mail that these people have been selected, right?
Yes,
So
sir. The mail that is one which sent by Amit sir, that one
Yeah.
only.
Okay. So, offer letter, we are not, so when you submit your draft report, in that we ask for the offer letter, and the first progress report will also ask for that. But it will not be a problem as if the company gives you the SIP certificate at the end of 2 months. If the company says that Aliva has joined our company, worked for 2 months, done such and such work on such and such topic, that would not be anything that you have to worry about. So offer letter, not much, because you have a official proof of getting selected into that through the official ID of your institute. So that will not be a problem. However, you should try for it, but don't lose your sleep over it. What you really need from a company is a SIP completion certificate. That is something which is valuable, right? Does that answer your question, Aliva?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Oliver, what is the nature of your work which you said you have started doing?
Sir, actually, I have joined White Shark Energy, where I have been assigned a procurement intern, and there they have asked me to collect the data of various products, solar products like the.
So this is very
inverter.
much part of your internship.
Yes, sir.
The very much part of your internship. Please maintain your daily record, what we are doing every day.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
these
sir.
are essential part of your work. You should never think that this is away from your work, SIP work. It
Okay,
is very
sir.
much part of your SIP work.
Yes, sir. Yes. Sure, sir.
Ajay, your hands are still raised. Do I assume you have a question? Yes, no? Okay. So I will assume that Ajay has left the meeting. Um, okay. Okay, he's still here. Anyone else wants to ask something, or we'll wrap it up? Okay, so I'll wrap it up very quickly. We discussed three important points. One, those who have been selected and are in touch with their company, make sure you start doing your job. Expectation setting within the first fortnight is the most important goal for you. Those who have been not selected, do not give up. Try to do your best till the end of next week. Okay, give it your all. Make sure you get selected in the company. And third point, those who are thinking about FLP, what will happen, what will not happen, in no way it is going to be any inferior to any of the corporate SIPs. We will make sure of that. More of the flow and how it is going to be done, we will be probably get in touch with you in the next week when we will be asking all the companies to close down the SIP regrets, and then we will formally start the FLP. So in that case, sometime about this in the next week, we'll again have a meeting where further details about the FLP will be shared with you. So these are the three important points that I just wanted to hammer. Yeah, Surya sir, if you want to say something.
I think I have covered everything in that I wanted to cover in the first part itself. Any further questions? I'm happy to take. Otherwise, I don't have anything further new to say.
Okay, so I think no further questions.
Just a moment. I'll just reassure all of you that the college is with you, and feel free to reach out to us in a mode that is non-overwhelming for you and us both. So if you start, every one of you individually start calling all of us, then it will be impossible for either Bhuvan sir or me to handle anything. Or more importantly, Amit, who gets everyone's calls. Try a non-invasive mode of communication. Typically, WhatsApp works best in terms of the balance between non-invasive and also being a little more instant than email. So WhatsApp is always open for everyone. So just try to use those mediums for communication, and please don't hesitate to communicate.
Sir, one more question. Sir, if we are doing a 3-month internship, would we get our attendance? And if there's a project we have to do and we are not present, how will we compensating for that?
You will not get attendance when you have not attended. So when I leave that concept out of your mind, I will get attendance without attending. You will get leave of absence. Okay. But at the same time, like our very famous Shahrukh Khan has said in this wonderful movie called Bajigar, कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है. तो अगर कहीं पे कुछ काम कर रहे हो तो यहाँ पे क्लास खो रहे हो तो वो क्लास का कंटेंट तो जा रहा है, right? So you will have to work a little harder than everybody else to make up. So that is there. For people who are on a different mode, who are on a semester-long internship or something, we will work out something else altogether. But for people who are staying back for a certain duration and then joining back in the same semester, probably after a month or a few weeks, you will have to take up the challenge of making up where your peers have gone ahead in terms of class.
I will always say one thing which works perfectly well in all these circumstances. Get in touch with your teachers, your faculties. They will help you, but let them know that you are not attending and ask them for quizzes and extra assignments which you have missed because of not attending the class. So I've never seen any student facing a problem if he or she has contacted the teacher. The problem only arises when you do not do anything and then run like headless chicken at the end of semester. So don't do that. If you are in touch with your teachers, faculties, it will be taken care of.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks a lot, Bhuvan sir, for hosting this. Thank
you, Surya sir. Thank you, Ashok sir. Thank you, all the students, for coming. Make sure you do a wonderful job. And yeah, we'll meet sometime same day next week. Okay, so take care. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.